There's no place to escape to.
This is the last podcast.
On the left. That's when the cannibalism started.
What was that?
I like it.
You ever done that?
No, throw it up on my nose? I don't think so. Maybe.
Try it.
Yeah, it seems like a hard thing to do.
Well, you just gotta believe in yourself.
I guess so. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to the show, everybody. Just having a small discussion with Hong Kong Henry Zabrowski.
I don't even know what that is. That is not even good fake Chinese.
No, it wasn't any sort of language whatsoever. That's good fake Chinese.
I like that song.
You sound like an alien in a children's movie.
Hey, Marcus, how you doing, buddy?
Pretty good, Ben. How you doing?
I'm fantastic. Marcus and I are just still reeling from our flesh spot experience last Friday night, but we won't talk about it too much. We're here to discuss. We also
intro the show.
The intro.
Intro the show.
I'm an intro of the show.
You have the intro of the show.
Yeah.
I am. Am I not introing it right now?
You haven't said the name of our podcast. Or
people already know what it is.
Marcus or I. You have to introduce us.
I already did.
Shows begin with you stating your name.
Yeah, but
you
you've
say
already said
name of the show, Last Podcast on the Left.
No, but
hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Last Podcast on the Left. My name is Henry Zabrowski, and with me I've got Hong Kong Ben Kissel.
Mick Choi. What the fuck was that, Henry?
And Marcus Parkus with the news. Give us the news,
right,
buddy.
well,
What's the news?
That's the wrong podcast, number one. Number two, and they know what the podcast they clicked on is. It's Welcome to the Last
Some
Podcast
people are
on the
fucking
Left.
stupid.
No, not our listeners. Our listeners are very smart, just like we are. Mostly Marcus. You're the smartest.
Nah, I don't know. Henry's pretty good.
Yeah!
Shut up!
Yeah, I got 2 pounds of fucking brains.
God damn it all. It doesn't matter. We're all friends, and like friends do, on Thursday night, we smoked a whole bunch of herb, drank a whole bunch of brew, and we watched the brand new Human Centipede 2.
Well, 'cause
full sequence.
We wanted to have like a discussion about like this idea of torture porn and like what is the like pros and cons of like what is torture
Upsides,
porn
downsides.
like why are they made? Why do people watch them? Why do people like them? But when it comes down to it, because all I heard was that Human Centipede 2 is the most intense, insane movie of all time.
Right.
Like that they compared it to another movie called The Serbian Film, which I still haven't seen. Which is again the main thing in the Serbian film is that it's just about this German porn star who goes into retirement and he gets popped out of retirement for like one last go around.
Like the wrestler.
Yeah, but he has to fuck a baby.
He fucks a baby. All right, big stinky deal.
But the thing is that he fucks, but it's supposed to be super like real.
It's supposed to be really real.
He uses his dick into like a sort of like super soft prosthetic baby.
It's called doing a Sandusky. He gave the baby a future. But the thing about this is, Human Centipede 2 does not... first of all, I want to say this. The term torture porn annoys the fuck out of me.
What would you rather call it?
Movie? Film? Piece of cinematic genius? Artistic craft?
Well, how did you feel? You see, like, Hostel. I'm a person that did not enjoy Hostel because... When I watched Hostel, the first half of that movie is just watching douchebags interact, and then they get tortured, which is great, but it's just very, 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 very slow.
I just didn't like the travel part. I just don't like to watch people go and have a good time.
I hate that because you just played it off. It was this like spring break drama, except because you have then other good horror movies like Wolf Creek does that. Wolf Creek does a big turnaround in the center of the movie, which is fantastic.
Wolf Creek is awesome. I mean, the thing about Hostels is I don't think there's anything wrong with them. You know, they're not morally questionable. I think they're fine films and truly terrifying. Anytime Hostel does a good job of presenting the instruments before he uses them on the person, that's scary to me.
Which Human Centipede 2 did a really good job of as well.
Yeah, Human Centipede.
Yeah, Human Centipede 2 is a perfect example of how that movie can, like, that genre of film can be made into a legitimate movie by it just needs action. It needs movement. Human Centipede 1, like, I still contend, like, I'm not a huge fan of Human Centipede 1 because I thought it was really boring.
You watched it alone.
I watched it alone, which was really fucked up and perverted to do. You don't do that. You don't watch it by yourself. You watch it with
that's
people.
actually the exact storyline of Human Centipede 2, a man and just watches it alone over and over again.
And we're the same body shape.
You literally are brothers from.
We're pretty close.
Yes.
What an amazing lead actor. What's his name?
I don't know, Marcus. Could we get? He did
Yeah,
a
I'm gonna try to
phenomenal
find
job.
him.
His name's like Ribble de Geikel.
Yeah, Ribble de Geikel. He was just amazing.
Terrible name. Ribble de Geikel. But I think so. This type of movie too, like in Human Centipede 2, just this amazing. It seems
It's
to
an
be
art house movie.
It's an art house movie. It's a satire. Like
Yes.
it is more than the first one was just kind of like a. I think they just made the movie to sort of see if they could make the movie.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell the first one was literally based upon a joke. You know, the stories Tom Six used to just tell a joke that all the Jerry Sandusky's of the world, all the pedophiles of the world should have their mouths surgically attached to a trucker's asshole.
Yeah.
So he says that joke in a round table of individuals, and one guy's like, "You got to make that a movie." And then so he's like, I feel like it was more of like, all right, let's just see if we can put this piece of shit together. Let's just see if we can get people ass to mouth. And then the second one, I felt like it was extremely meta, and I thought that it was a more artistic movie than the first one.
I honestly think that Human Centipede 2 has made a complete and total case for that type of movie.
Yeah.
You can, because it is entertaining. We laughed at it. It was really gripping, and the effects were amazing.
I mean, it is legitimately funny at sometimes.
Yes.
I mean, and the effects. There's a scene with the Mr. What is it, Wriggles?
I don't know what his name is.
We'll call him Lumpy Flats.
Lumpy Flats.
His real name is Lawrence R. Harvey. And remember, his name in the movie is Martin.
Yeah, Martin.
Maybe the best serial killer name of all
Also,
time.
I think it was a point towards George Romero's Martin, because that was also in black and white, and it's kind of about the same thing, about like a loner guy living with his mother turning into a vampire. Martin, the movie Martin is also fantastic.
Oh, okay. But yes, so the relationship between him and his mother was really something to watch, and that was the high stakes game. And the effects. Let's just say his mother didn't have like the perfect end to her life, and the way that they did that scene. I don't want to ruin the movie, but I feel like his mother just gets really fucked up, and the way that they made her face.
Oh man, so good.
Oh my God, that was one of the absolute best effects I've ever seen.
Yeah,
just
anytime there's a scene where he's just slowly eating, I believe it was some sort of soup, staring across at his now dead mother, and with her face just completely ripped to shreds in a way that I've never seen.
Incredible effects, haunting.
And the mother really reminds me of the mother in Eraserhead.
Yeah. I
very
really
much
think
so.
that he pointed towards these movies purposefully. They're all like purposeful little like callbacks.
You know,
to these movies.
horror is the best genre to do that. Horror always does that. Any good horror movie just has little eggs.
It's like that in sci-fi. Also, you could do something like this, and we realized afterwards. I mean, we were also really stoned, so we had a lot of very interesting, sort of insights in the film.
Yeah.
But what I thought immediately afterwards is like it's an allegory for how. Like Tom Six looked at it and it's like, this is how people view horror fans, right? Like
Right.
Human Centipede 2 is like, you see this loner who loves Human Centipede, and that with everybody who is not a fan of horror thinks that horror fans watch a horror movie and be like, yeah, I want to fucking kill people and go out and kill
they think
people.
they jack off with ant hills in their hands and come on strange pieces of broccoli.
Yeah, and this movie's a total play on that. It's like a total play on the idea that, because I also don't even believe in the idea of catharsis anymore. I don't believe that me watching a Hostel or Saw takes those feelings out of me, because I don't have those feelings.
I mean, that's the thing. I never had a feeling of kidnapping a whole series of transits who are visiting New York and putting them in a basement and torturing them slowly.
Because a lot of times I think that those guys like Night of the Museum. You know what I mean? I think those guys will be obsessed with it. Like Along Came Polly.
For example, the guy...
I just like to laugh, you know?
For example, Libby Kletsky, or not Libby Kletsky, Levi Aaron, the guy that killed Libby Kletsky.
This is the Jewish boy.
The little Jewish boy, cut him up into little tiny pieces. His favorite TV show? Glee.
Yeah.
He loved Glee. He loved The Office. His favorite song was Time by Hootie and the Blowfish.
I think, that's sad. He should have gone to jail. That's the recipe right there.
Absolutely.
That's
You
what
have to have
these guys
advisory.
that's what they actually listen to.
We need to live in that movie Minority Report, and we gotta get the checks and be like, he's watched every single episode of Glee, and I think he's gonna be a child killer.
I think we gotta isolate this guy. We gotta ice this guy down.
I mean, that's the thing. I forget what I was gonna say. What were you gonna go?
I watch it and I just like extreme subject matter. I like extreme subject matter. I like watching a thing that it's like so far outside of my life that
That's the thing.
it's like great.
I'm the same way.
I can't be entertained by, just a nice, slow love story or a nice comedy because it's like I kind of live a great comedic life already. It's pretty fun. The one thing I can never do is be Antonio Banderas in the film The Skin I Live. The Skin I Live In
is so good.
I can just never
see it.
take a young boy, turn him into a girl, and then start fucking him. I can't do that in real life. It's
Just not yet. Not in this economy.
no, but maybe not in this economy. And maybe it'll be like Star Wars. Like technology is sort of like. It's like Star Trek, sort of is like Star Trek now. So maybe in like 50 years, this sort of gender changing.
Once you get into you just have to be in your own personal like Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Yeah,
where it's like you apply, you tell them you have cancer.
Right.
I wonder if that'll fly. You tell them you have cancer, that you're dying. The only thing you want to do before you die is kidnap a young boy, turn his penis into a vagina.
Yes.
Fuck him a lot.
Oh,
until
okay.
Just so you could like make the vagina work.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we can still work with you.
Then you can finally just die. You can let go.
Oh, okay.
All
right. Well, yeah, we're going to get on it.
Drapes go or I do.
That's fantastic. Well, I think we have Kevin Durant. He wants to be the NBA spokesperson for your little project. That's the thing. The only thing about back to Human Centipede 2 is I thought it was very funny, not at all medically accurate. And the centipede, he does I would say probably one of the best uses of a staple gun of any horror movie I've ever seen. Yeah. You can assume exactly what he did with that staple gun.
It's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
They were made by it was made by very smart people. But at the same time, I still we're neglecting the fact. I mean, like in the end, it's pretty heinously violent. It's very, very, very violent.
Extremely so.
But like,
I mean, there's
really useful.
And there are some scenes where I can't remember cringing that much while watching a movie, but not being able to look away at all. Like
one of the best teeth scenes.
All three of us were just at so many points just
screaming. Yeah.
In fact, let's cut. We actually recorded our reactions
much
throughout
like
the film.
The trailers for when Paranormal Activity came out.
Yeah.
This is our version of it.
This is our version of that, and you're going to see a little bit of insight of, I guess, just how we hang out.
Yeah.
What we
there was a
sound
little
like
bit
when
less
we're
screaming than normal, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
We just. Hey, Ben! Oh! Hey, Ben! Give me a beer, Ben! Give me a beer! Oh my God! Oh, good. How do you have this?
Ben, I shit. Oh, Ben, I shit the culture. Ben, I shit.
Okay,
that's a more normal. Yeah, that's more accurate.
Henry shits.
All right.
Henry has to sit on the leather couch. It's easier to clean the poo-poo off.
I like to slide. Oh, I sometimes shit on the leather couch and I just slide.
Okay. Here's our reactions to the film.
It smells like someone shit on the couch. Was Henry over here?
This guy's like your spirit animal.
Oh, he is creepy looking.
Loves that fucking movie, man.
Oh, I guess we just do stuff so much. I'm gonna hate this so fucking much.
Oh, that's so bad. Oh my God. Don't hit me. Oh, that's fucked up. That's fucked up.
I hate teeth stuff so much. I hate teeth stuff so much.
Jesus Christ, that is fucking brutal. Good Lord. Get that? Holden just said from the other room that it sounds like we're fucking each other.
I don't know if there is.
It's the way he's like rubbing his face with his hands and then going back and doing it. That's that's so bad. That's so bad. Oh, holy shit.
It makes you want to punch. It just makes you want to punch things.
Just don't punch me. Don't punch me. Punch the couch. You hurt me when you punched me. Oh yeah. Cut the butt.
Oh, what's gonna happen?
Cut the butt.
Is it our first butt shot?
It's our first butt tap.
Holding, come watch your first butt move.
Cut the butt, Holden. Holden, he's gonna cut the butt.
Come on, Holden, he's gonna cut it out. He's gonna cut a face butt.
He's gonna make his butt smile.
Cut the butt.
Cut the butt.
Cut the butt. Cut the butt.
Yeah.
The butt's been cut. Oh, Jesus Christ. Preparing venison. He's like, my ass is definitely...
I literally think that if my mom saw this, she would die. Like, if she saw this, she would throw up and die. Oh, even the most horrible time, something beautiful could happen.
Oh my God, that is...
Is that his penis? Could men be wittier than that? I would say no.
I love reliving our lives.
I sometimes sit and I just record us secretly when we hang out. I have a recorder I put in my pocket. And then sometimes, like, late at night, almost morning, I'll sit and just listen to that recording. I laugh again. Yeah. I laugh at us laughing before. It's nice.
That's fun. Well,
It's like you're not alone anymore.
Yeah, no, you're always alone. The thing is, it's like, what was it? If I hope that they heard the scene of us screaming during the teeth.
Yeah.
He takes Martin, is an adorable little construction worker.
He's like a hairless Ewok.
He is. He's the oldest of all the Ewoks. He's huge for an Ewok.
Yeah.
He takes a hammer, he opens up a person's mouth and just slowly chips away at their teeth, and it's really it's tough to shock us.
Yeah.
And that scene was shocking.
And
That was the most brutal thing I've ever seen.
The way it was shot was fantastic.
It was sort of above. It was above shot, and then you just
He just kind of like lazily.
icebreakers.
Yeah, and like what's really cool is that he kind of like. It's really cool. It's just
It is.
He just lazily, just sort of like clink, clunk, clunk.
That's the thing.
Like kind of just like lets the weight of the hammer just like bam, 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 like knocks all.
Well, he does that a
uses
lot.
gravity.
Yeah,
He just allows gravity to take the hammer down.
Well, I'll tell you, whenever he uses the crowbar, because he uses a crowbar quite a bit in the
He
movie.
has an iconic swing.
It is up there with Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees. It is amazing.
He could be an icon. That character could be a horror icon.
I kind of want to get Martin out of Human Centipede, and theoretically, you could. Martin can do anything. Martin's just a dude who, loves to kill. And he's alive. He's alive
just
and well.
real mad. And and that was the thing we were talking about. I don't know if we're gonna if that ends up in the final cut, but it's like part of me was rooting for Martin.
Yeah,
part of me was just like, he's got a lot of fucking bad shit in his life. He's had a bad life.
He's got nothing going for him.
He's got nothing going for him. He's filled with hate. I mean, he's retarded.
He was mildly retarded for sure. I mean,
If
he
you're
shat himself
retarded-
multiple times. How Henry shits on my couch, he shat in his bed.
Well, I do it on purpose. He did it not on purpose. That's different. I do
Yeah.
it. It's like a cat or like a dog. If you say something when you annoy me, like if you are late to something,
Right.
Or you just do
Henry's
something
gonna
I think is
shit
funny.
now. I'm 5 minutes late.
I'll sometimes just crawl up on top of the refrigerator and I just shit on the top of the refrigerator.
Yeah.
I like to shit in like a weird, hard place for you to get to.
Yeah, a little
Shit in
dookie
this-
surprise.
You shit in the broiler of a stove.
Oh.
If you want to ruin somebody's just whole fucking Thanksgiving,
Okay.
you take a fucking squirmy tan shit and a broiler.
Squirmy tan shit.
Yeah, you take a bunch of what you do is you eat 2 bowls of chili and
Okay.
a couple of tamales.
Oh, of course.
Right? You eat some baby laxatives, and then you just fucking shit. You just shit you shit a mauve. I say it's mauve is the
And
color.
speaking of shit, this movie has probably the best shit scene ever. Ever.
That's fucking shit domino effect I've ever seen.
So that's the deal. So the human centipede wasn't creating the poo poo as quickly as Martin would have liked. So
Make the poo-poo, make the poo-poo.
make the poo poo. So he took it upon himself to aid the process with a whole series of he injected them with laxative and I'll tell you that was a fun shit line.
It was
you could just see
it
the
was
shit
so
go
great.
from stomach to stomach. And that's the other thing about this one. That scene is like that's not the way that would work.
Oh, absolutely not.
So it was so comical at that point, as opposed to like part one where Dr. Hader's like, this is how I'm going to do it. It looks medically appropriate. That's more terrifying. This one totally crossed over to entertaining and comedy to me.
And that to me is where the movie goes right, and where these types of movies always go right. Where it's like Human Centipede 1 made mistakes as far as I was concerned with like tone.
You just watched it alone. I am telling you, it's because I watched it with Marcus. We had a blast.
It was great.
But it's still boring, though. It's a boring movie.
I don't think it's boring.
Happens for a half. The
but I like that
movie is not, and it's grim, and there's no action, and it doesn't take like.
But you're wondering what the fuck is going on, and you know that the centipede's going to happen. I like it. I don't
like it. I don't like it.
This is like the Bizarro, Siskel, and Ebert. I like this disgusting thing. I like this disgusting thing.
I don't like it.
Wow, you guys even kind of look like Bizarro, Siskel, and Ebert.
I'm Roger Ebert.
Does that mean I'm going to get cancer?
You're going to get cancer.
We both got fucking cancer.
Yeah, but you outlived
You're going to
me.
lose your face, Henry.
Roger Ebert is fucking horrifying.
Roger Ebert, if you're out there.
If you want to scare somebody, he just got that. Oh, he's got that. You know what I'm going to say? This again. This is a bit of a sidetrack here. The one when the monkey ripped that one woman's face off, and Roger Ebert. If you lose a majority of your face, nothing you do to replace the parts that you lost will ever look normal. You will never be kissed again. No one will. Anytime someone looks at you, they will scream in fear. They hate to look at you. You would get a mask.
You would be better off if you just Gorilla Glued a bunch of bacon to your face.
Just get a big fucking Cobra Commander mask and just wear it like that. Be a supervillain. Right? It's fine. Just be a supervillain. You lost your face.
Speaking of Roger Ebert, though, now Human Centipede 1 was the only film that he ever gave 0 stars to, and Human Centipede 2 is now the second film that he's given 0 stars to. And I think he really does have a love affair with them. Because he watches them. That's for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if Roger Ebert has seen them more than one time.
Oh, yeah.
I know. I've seen Human Centipede 3 times.
Yeah, I've seen Human Centipede about 4 or 5 times.
How come you got...
I've seen it with you twice.
Have I seen it twice?
Well, we saw it that first time, and then you did it for Big Fat Scary.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I ran the tech for that one.
Yep.
And then I watched it with my ex-girlfriend, who loved it, and should have been...
Did she like it too much?
Yeah, that should have been a big ding.
Did you do a big, like, Human Centipede with you and just her, and she's like...
Well, there was anal involved.
You be the second one.
But there's only 2 of us.
I'm gonna shit. I'm gonna shit.
So Roger Ebert gave it 2 stars, or no stars. But I think the thing is, I don't understand how people can't just get rid of the subject matter. If that movie was filled with anything, you can't argue that it wasn't well shot. It looked beautiful. The script was good. I don't think Martin utters a word.
He doesn't,
which is terrifying.
Oh no, the only thing that he says even close to a word is goo 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 goo.
Oh yeah, and then what was he when he was dancing for the poo poo? Yeah, he says poo poo. Oh my god, the fart noise. But I will say, I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but I think, if you haven't seen it yet, we're not going to. But the end of the movie.
Yeah.
What did you think? Are we going to play that clip of us at the very end?
If I have
Should we not? Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
I think we can say the end. I think it's fine because we're talking about the movie.
It's a common. They do a common.
It's a horror. It's a horror vehicle a technique that I think a lot of people use.
Where it's like, in order to, in the end, the whole thing was a fantasy. The whole thing was a dream.
Yeah.
And the thing is that it's this genre, right? It seemed like the ending is a big, massive apology for the movie itself.
That's how I took it.
And it looks like, and it's just like a cop out, like, because in the end you can just kind of like step out of it and be like, it didn't happen though.
Yeah. What's the television series? Dallas did that, right?
Yeah.
The whole thing took place in a snow globe.
Yeah.
So fucking
I hate
stupid.
that.
Well, I think the point that he was trying to make was that that's what people think. What you were saying earlier, people think that's what goes on in the heads of people who watch horror movies.
Yeah, no, he hits the theme,
and I think that's what the theme of the movie was, and that was the only way to. I think in order to keep that theme consistent, I think that was the only way he could be able to end it like that.
Yeah,
I mean, but on the other hand, it does. So. It's not. You don't necessarily need to stick with your themes. Maybe sometimes your theme's wrong.
You just feel like you wasted an hour and a half when you watch it. When that ending happens, you just feel like, so none of it happened, so I watched nothing.
But the thing, exactly, you feel like you watched nothing, and the thing, I know it didn't actually happen. It's a movie.
Yeah.
This is not physically possible, and this man, like, Martin is a slow, fat, half-retarded boy. He's not killing anybody.
No.
Maybe if he gets really drunk and drives a golf cart.
I get sad when I have to take my Netflix envelope to the mailbox.
Yeah.
Never mind being lazy and fucking knocking out and dragging 12 human bodies.
And by the way,
into a
this guy
warehouse.
has a terrifying body.
A terrifying
weird
body.
Completely hairless.
Makes my body look so sexy.
He has
I'd much rather look at your body than his.
Yeah.
I'll
That's
go ahead
why
and
you
say
do
that right
comedy,
now.
and you're not trying to make a huge human centipede in a warehouse you just
Not
purchased.
yet.
Oh, yes. He has Monique's body. No tits and just a huge gut. And you're just like, how does the fat not take a stop in the breast? You would think, I mean, he really no tits at all on that big old fatty.
But as an overall experience, Human Centipede 2 was very smartly made, and it was made by people that really, and obviously, like, very much in love with their subject matter, and like to me, like. Afterwards, why I wanted to like even sit and talk about it is that I think the movie is pretty important to horror films because it is the idea of putting it onto the fans. You know what I mean? Like putting it into this is like sort of doing a big satire of what horror movie fans are.
Right.
I think it's very interesting because I feel like as a country, people are really into horror films right now, and people are into like shock and like material.
And the genre is also sort of going in a really bizarre direction too. It's getting more mainstream now, and these vampires are very popular.
And being
zombies are
meta
very
too
popular.
is like such a crazy idea. Like making this super meta movie where like Human Centipede exists as a movie in it is like really smart. It's like a hip idea, like to
good
make
idea.
it work like that.
That's what I've always wondered as far as how they were going to do the second one because Dr. Hader had no proteges or
He certainly
anything
got
like
his ass
that.
killed.
Yeah,
Well,
got his ass real killed. But I was wondering how they were going to do it, and that was a smart way to do it, man.
No, it was a very and that's and it's also a case of what sequels should be. Like if you're gonna make sequels to horror movies, it's like that and Paranormal Activity 2 are both incredible examples of this is what sequels should be is you add a room onto the house of the first movie.
Right.
You go into it should be lateral moves. It should be Paranormal Activity 2 just opened up the series more. Like you go to a new level of it. I mean Paranormal Activity 3 is shit.
Yeah, relative. It's kind of shit.
It's kind of I did not like it at all. And then
I thought there were some good scares, but
there were good jump scares, but and they had a great and the rotating camera is a great
there was some
horror
controversial
device.
stuff in there, though.
It's just it's just kind of stupid.
Yeah.
But Human Centipede 2 was a total success. I mean, they're going to ruin it with Human Centipede 3. God knows what they're going to do with Human Centipede 3. I mean, like, because that'll happen.
But I always kind of enjoy 3s and 4s of horror genre.
Because they just when they jump the shark.
They just, why is he on the moon? Why are they making a human centipede on the moon all of
Why
a
is this a
sudden?
Western?
And that would be Critters 4, Critters in Space.
As soon as they go to anywhere out of space, you're just like, oh, wow, look at that. No ideas left.
They should do a Back to the Future 3 version of Halloween where Mike Myers is in the Old West and like
They have to do it.
Sheriff has to like take down Mike Myers and Mike Myers is just like strangling horses and stuff like that. Like just like out in the Old West. Like
would
says
love
like
it.
I think that would be amazing.
Oh, yeah. Freddy versus... It's something like maybe like a Bubba Hotep, something like that.
Yeah.
I would love to see that. Freddy versus Jason in some sort of Old West fantasy world.
Freddy versus Genghis Khan.
Freddy versus... That's what they have
Genghis
to do.
Khan's starting to have Freddy dreams.
Theoretically, Freddy does not live in time, right? So
No,
Genghis Khan could just get haunted by Freddy.
No, he is Dream Lord.
So he is timeless.
So fucking stupid.
He's seamless. He can haunt us in the future. He can haunt us in the past.
I watched Freddy, what's the last
Freddy's
one? Freddy's
Dead.
Dead. I watched that again. That movie's so fucking stupid. I love Freddy to death.
Yeah.
I love those. It's very entertaining, but
It
it's
is really
incredibly
entertaining.
stupid.
I'm excited. I wonder if Human Centipede is going to go more towards the sort of campy laugh side, or if they're going to keep on going down this rabbit hole. I want them to get dirtier and darker because, frankly, every time a movie comes out and everyone's like, oh, you can't see it, he fucks a baby, or you can't see it. There's a great baby scene in Human Centipede where a woman has to get away. She bursts a child, steps right on its head. Fantastic, wonderful scene. Never do I watch that, though, and I think, oh, that's too far. You can never go far enough.
Nope.
What I would like to see, like, what I'm always kind of obsessed with is, like, I would love to see one of the members of the Human Centipede survive, and then what you do is
Saw does with their lead gal, and almost like they're better people because she was stuck
they went through the whole thing, and then it's more of like a drama about her life. You know what I mean? It's like, I like that. It's like that's what my favorite idea of like post-zombie movies, where it's just like it's not the zombie invasion anymore; it's the survivors now, like living together, like in a big apartment, like it's this big like zany apartment comedy, and like but there was a fucking virus.
A dude walks right by her and puts his ass in her face and gives a fart, and she just like breaks down. He's like, I'm just joking around. I'm sorry. I thought we were.
You just don't understand. They skip that house, and they skip that house, and they come straight after you. Wait a second, is that the Twister? Is that the monologue from Twister?
They did sort of have a character like that in Human Centipede too, though. Ashlyn, I believe the actress was Ashlyn. She made her second appearance, and the thing about Martin was so brilliant. He set up a fake casting call.
Funny, and he gets all these messages from desperate managers.
Oh, the managers were so
smart, so
Ashlyn's
funny.
very excited to be there. And then, of course, she's the head of the Centipede.
And they tell the girls that they're auditioning for the new Quentin Tarantino movie.
It's like, oh, is that Quentin's car?
That's so funny. Yeah,
does he always do auditions in a warehouse?
I mean, did you feel as if the movie was as shocking as everybody made it out to seem?
I mean, it's the level of shocking was very appropriate.
Yeah, I hate when, because obviously the intent of the people who are making it were like, oh, this is gonna kind of fuck with fuck people up, but it's like I just like that they give it a shot, and then you have to realize what they were going for.
It's gonna you're making it for your audience. You have an audience reveal. Human Centipede 2 was for us. Where it's like I don't immediately get
it was
upset.
FUBU.
It's FUBU.
For us, by us. I mean, not by us. Our thoughts sort of made it.
It's our version of FUBU. It's FUBU.
I did feel comfortable watching it.
Our FUBU.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, because we had our roommate Kep and Holden. They just both went to their rooms. They refused to entertain it.
Holden's a fucking pussy.
A huge
He's
pussy.
He's a pussy. I'm saying it out now. Holden McNeely.
I think we say it on every show.
Yeah, we got a pretty good streak of calling Holden pussy.
So I think people tend to agree with us.
Yeah,
we're getting some positive statements on Twitter and Facebook messages. Agree with that? Holden's a pussy line. Well, no problem. Thanks for listening.
Thank you. I also wish you to attach all these pictures of your penis.
Right. But there's something about it where as soon as I find out that something is supposed to be so disgusting and so unbelievably off-putting, I just immediately I have to see it. And some folks are like, I'm going to bed. I'm not going to be in the same room. Why? What is the difference in the psyches of people? Because I need to see the most. Like, I have made some questionable clicks on the category section of Pornhub.
As have I.
Bukkake? I don't like it. But all of a sudden, there's a picture of this woman, literally juggling a gallon of male jizz. And I'm like, I'm going to look at that picture for a second.
I'm just curious as a cat about it.
I'm not going to jack off to it.
I'm just a little curious little cat.
I just want to know what they're up to. And so I feel like with a movie like this, if you don't see it, if you if you allow society's bullshit rules of what's appropriate cinema to, affect your mind that much,
you're just not going to see it.
You're a fucking putz.
Yeah.
You got to see these things. These are film history. This is what it's all about. Everyone's like, "Oh, you got to go watch." What was that stupid fucking movie with the lovebirds, with that dreamboat of a guy who's now in Drive?
Oh, Notebook?
No, not the Notebook. It just came out with that Williams gal.
Drive.
No, not Drive. The other fucking movie.
The Notebook?
Drove?
You guys are fucking assholes.
Driving?
Hey, Ben! We're friends!
Fuck you all. Well, I don't know. Do we want to say anything else about this fantastic feature other than go out and see it and bootleg it if you have to? Do whatever you want.
I say just bootleg it.
I feel like you should have been gnawing on a piece of Twizzlers from the 1930s when you said that.
Bootleg it.
Well, say you just bootleg it.
I say we just bootleg it. It's better when it's illegal. Everybody likes it when it's got a little bit of sneak to it.
I think it is better when it's illegal. Out of 5 stars, Marcus, what are you going to give it?
I'm gonna give it because of some things here and there. I'm gonna give it a 4.
A 4 out of 5?
I'll still give it a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5? I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Because I did not find it quite gruesome enough, and I'll tell you, that end really stains it hard for me.
It's a boo-boo.
It's a boo-boo.
Poo-poo pickle.
It's a poo-boo. Can you sing that?
Poo-poo pickle.
Henry Zabrowski also has a fantastic new song that he's going to close out the program with tonight.
You want me to do it?
Oh, please.
Take that pickle painted brown, turn that frown upside down. It's a poo-poo pickle.
That's a poo-poo pickle.
It's a poo-poo pickle.
There's one more line, isn't there?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna marry you. So fucking stupid.
Oh my god.
Stupid.
And if you guys
What's in that cigarette is a monkey hair.
if you want to know the inspiration for that beautiful
I'm gonna
song,
put up the video today.
Yes. This is,
The 12 songs of 1941.
Oh my god! You have to please. It's a poo-poo pickle. Oh my god!
Don't you get yourself in a poo-poo pickle. If you get yourself in a poo-poo pickle, you gotta get out of town.
Get out of that poo-poo pickle.
Get out of Cleveland.
All right, guys. We will talk to you next week.
Magustalations. China, please buy me.
Yeah.
China, come by Henry.
You think
yeah. We gotta send invoice over for Henry Sobieski.
Oh my god, that's the worst one yet.
Henry Sobieski, we buy you. Oh, how much we buy you for? Oh, couple. I get a box of French fries.
It is a poo-poo pickle, my friend, that we are all going to prison. All right, for Marcus Parks, Henry Zabrowski, I'm Ben Kissel. Magustalations.
Magustalations.
It's a poo-poo pickle.
It's a poo-poo pickle.